Well, Saudi Arabia's Foreign Minister Abdel Al-Jubeir ratcheting up the rhetoric on Iran. He says it requires an international response, and he refused to rule out the possibility of working with Israel to do that. I also asked him about this massive corruption crackdown that we've been seeing playing out against the backdrop of the foreign policy elements of this story. One of the big questions, of course, is what is going to happen next, and who next are we going to hear about? Because the Saudi government has yet to come out and fully disclose who's been taken. We know more than 60 ministers, big businessmen, as well as members of the royal family are being questioned and being investigated at this time, and we know as many as 1,800 personal accounts have been frozen. Let's listen into what the foreign minister had to say about it.
Quite the contrary. I think that this will increase investor confidence in Saudi Arabia because it shows that we have adopted a zero-tolerance policy on corruption, just as we have adopted a zero-tolerance policy on terrorism and extremism and terror financing. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia announced, the custodian of two holy mosques announced more than 2.5 years ago that he will fight corruption and fight it robustly. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince has made it very clear that no prince and no minister and no high-ranking official is immune from corruption charges. The public prosecutor started an investigation 2.5 years ago and unearthed a large number of cases of individuals who are involved in corruption, and the decision was made to bring these people in for questioning and to confront them with the evidence and to deal with this issue in a very resolute manner. A sizable percentage of our budget, we discovered, was being stolen, and this cannot stand. Where you have corruption, you cannot have justice, you cannot have investment, you cannot have efficient and transparent government. I believe that the international community will be very, very pleased that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is not only transparent, not only firm, but has actually taken decisive action against individuals who robbed public goods. And the reason the names have not been announced is under our legal system, we don't publicize names until after the verdicts are out. And this process is still ongoing. The questioning is ongoing. The individuals will have trials in accordance with our laws, just like everybody else, and they will be held accountable. So this is a hugely important step for Saudi Arabia. Now foreign investors can come in Saudi Arabia and compete on an equal footing with everybody else.
There's been conflicting reports about just what happened with the arrest of His Royal Highness Prince Abdulaziz. Could you clarify what exactly happened?
I can't comment on the individual cases. I leave that to the public prosecutor.
There's also a question of, we're talking about something like $800 billion worth of assets that are either in Saudi Arabia or abroad belonging to those who are under investigation. Is this really about corruption, or is this really about getting the cash? Because those funds you guys could really use right now, especially with Vision 2030.
Yeah, I can't, again, comment on numbers and so forth. I leave that to the public prosecutor, and I think in time people will know. The bottom line is, money was stolen from the public treasury. And that robbed the country of the ability to invest it for the good of its people. And so, of course, people have to return the funds that were stolen.
So the bottom line there from Saudi Arabia's foreign minister is that these people who are under investigation stole from the state. And you have to remember, of course, that since this era of lower oil prices, these reserves in Saudi Arabia have gone from something like 800 billion to something around 450 billion. So this is cash that they could really use as they try to reinvigorate this economy and move it away from dependency on oil. Guys.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.